Shalom, shalom. For the ones that might be watching this a little later. Hold on 1 second, 1 second. Let me get this water. Make sure the sound is good. Salaki family. Salaki family. Salaki family. Yeah, I can hear the sound. Definitely hear the sound. So with that, I guess we can just get into it. Use this when I need to. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, Lord willing that they continue to endure and be sincere. And the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing that they continue to endure and be sincere, all in the same spirit. Shalom to the Akwat Yum, that are believers of His faith and His truth. Lord willing that they continue to pursue in their lot, being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. Just want to say it again, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect. Right, you see the title, this is a pre-Passover camp. You know, this is all in remembrance of Him. Really, you know, a lot of people think that they following the Lord and Savior, right? But when it comes to the labor, the work, right, which is really, you know, laboring is reading, right, getting the history, getting the stuff that happened before you and understanding it and believing in it, you know, that's part of this ministry. A lot of people haven't tapped back in the Bible and actually read the history, what's going on, right? And truly believe in it, right? To walk on it, to walk in this thing, you must talk about it. You must be about it, right? To really be about it is to be able to know what you are in, right? And for the Black, Latinos, and Hispanic who this pertain to, right? They're in captivity because they sinned and turned away from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? And so, Lord willing, we can be edified today through the Spirit. So the first thing I want to bring out is Exodus, the 3rd chapter, going in that, you know, Israel was crying, and the same thing that happened back then, they doing it in this time, you know, crying to the Lord because what's going on are oppressors, right? The ones that's ruling the earth is persecuting us, man, right? So this is Exodus, the 3rd chapter. I'm gonna only read a little bit in this chapter. I think I'm gonna start at verse 7. So this Exodus chapter 7, no, Exodus chapter 3 and verse 7. And we're gonna read the 10, and it says, and Yahweh said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. Right? And we have taskmasters in this captivity, and we even have taskmasters, especially even when you look at the other nations. Right? We have taskmasters within our nation, right? That's afflicting us, pushing music, pushing adultery, pushing abomination basically on us. And then we have taskmasters that's above us. Like you got presidents, congressmen, people that are working in government, because the higher elites that control this system, that feeds it and direct it, those are the rulers, right? Verse 8, it says, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, to bring them up out of that land, unto a good land and a large, and unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hittites, and the Jebusites, which is what we would say today, Israel, is Yasharallah, right? That is our land that Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai have given unto us, hallowed that land. You go to 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, that's a land that is hallowed. That is the children of Israel inheritance, regardless if you believe it or not, right? Verse 9, and of course, you got Ishmael, or the Arabs, and Esau, the Amalek, small hats, they're ruling that land. Two nations is fighting over land that's not theirs. Verse 9, now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Right? And really on this side is the elect crying unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai on what's going on in the world. Right? The elect children is waking up. Right? Let me get a precept before I read verse 10. Right? And it's all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai because of falling away. He allowing us to actually stand on our feet again. Right? Knowing who he is. Revelations 11, verse 11, it says, after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Right? And that's really the elect on this side that's getting the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and feeding the sheep. Talking about the men, even you women, you slowly but surely is understanding. You ain't learning like men, right? You ain't getting the full loaf. Now, some women is different than other women, where through the spirit they tired and they really are getting edified, right? Being in their role, in their position, absorbing as much as they can. They might not be able to remember it, but at the end of the day, you're showing that you believe, you're hearing it, you're understanding it, you can relate to it, you're attracted to it, right? Right? So again, they're getting the spirit of life, right? Which the Lord is giving that back to us after the falling away that happened, in the time of that 350 years. After that 350 years overpassed us, now the Lord is letting us stand on our feet, starting in the time of 19 late 50s. Like in the late 50s, right? The Lord is allowing us to be able to hear his word and hear the word through his prophets, right? So going back to Exodus chapter 3 and verse 9, now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Exodus chapter 20 verse 2, Egypt is the house of bondage, and the children of Israel is in the house of bondage, and they're scattered four corners of the earth, which was like the transatlantic slavery, right? Slave trade. And then you got other trades that they did four corners of the earth, selling the Lord's Jews, not like Jews as in just only the southern kingdom, but Jews like jewelry, right? Let me get a precept real quick, because anybody that touched the apple of the Lord's eye, you have been marked, right? A lot of y'all wouldn't, of course you don't know it that you're marked, but through the spirit you are marked. This is not Exodus, this is Zechariah chapter 2 in verse 8. I'll start at verse 7. It says, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Daughter of Babylon is modern day Babylon, right? This daughter is a virgin and never been touched, right? Verse 8, for thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory have he sent me unto the nations which spoil you, for he that toucheth you touches the apple of my eye, right? And being spoiled is being spoiled with philosophy, doctrine, being spoiled of being of the world, where a lot of our sisters are harlots, right? Most of our sisters is hopping from rod to rod, and might not even understand, probably wasn't taught too much of how sacred, you know, their virginity is. You know, the Lord's people became very low, especially without the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding the role of a man, the role of a woman, or the knowledge of a prophet, right? That knowledge was taken from us, and it was all by Yahweh, right? When you go to 1 Samuel chapter 2, and there's other examples, just trying to keep it straight to the point. Got to start at you know, the main point of what we're getting into, and then we're going to get in there, right? So the children of Israel is crying, man, because, you know, Yahushua has the keys of hell. He put us in a lower state. We're brought very low. We're supposed to be ruling the earth. The nation's supposed to be at our heel, at our feet, right? But we failed, right? This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. It says, Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord brought us down to the grave through the spirit, which is a lower state, right? He literally does it when he puts you in the spirit world, but through the spirit, bring it to the grave is another example of a lower state, right? We're in hell right now, which is slavery, paying taxes, under subjection. You can't really provide for your household. You think I want to work a full-time job and take my family on a monthly vacation, travel here without any problems, right? Or buy my household nice things, right? Of course we want to do those things. But on this side, the children of Israel are very low. Now, some of us is blessed to be able to do more than others, right? But the main focus while you're on this side is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? Giving your main focus to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? To keep going on that, because there's some good points in this chapter. Verse 7, Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. So where Israel is, high, low, is all because of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Our greatest suffering is to be low, right? To be of a poor state, right? It says he raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar out of the dunghill. Lift up the beggar out the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. And through the Spirit, this is Hannah's prayer and song, because in the later end, what's going to be effect, the wicked are going to be silent in that destruction that's going to come. And their strength, by strength shall no man prevail. Nobody's going to be able to stop what's going to come, right? Because what the Lord declared for the elect or for the saints, been declared since the beginning of time. That's why nobody's going to be able to get in between this. Right. So verse 10, it says the adversary of Yahweh shall be broken into pieces, right? And it's not just only nations, the other nations outside of Israel that are adversaries, which is enemies. It's even the children of Israel, right? Your mother, your father, your cousin, you, right? We could be enemies of the Lord when we're bumping up against this truth, or we don't believe, right? Or you're friends of the world. You're an enemy of the Lord. James 4:4. It says, the adversaries of Yahweh shall be broken into pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. Yahweh shall judge the ends of the earth. He shall give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed, which truly that anointed is Yahushai. Yahushai is going to be exalted above all principalities, which he has right now in the spirit above all angels. But when he comes on this earth, we're going to see him in this natural form. We're going to see him not as a man, right? And all things is going to be yielded under Mashiach Yahushai, right? So what Yahushai did for us on that cross, right, to give us another fighting chance to be reconciled with the Heavenly Father through his son. Yahushai was that great ransom. You know, I was quoting a movie about this billionaire who had a lot of money, and his nephew got kidnapped, and they made him they was like, look, well, hey, we got a ransom of $5 million. If you don't pay, we're going to kill him. The uncle, I think he basically was saying that, hey, I could make another one, because he worked hard for this money, And then he started thinking that even his nephew was trying to get money. So he probably set it up because he wasn't giving out his money all like that. You know? Yahweh Shai was a ransom for us to get the glory, man. The Lord smit his son just for you to have another fighting chance, just because the law or the first covenant, we couldn't fully keep it, right? Let's get something just so that we can, get even amped even more, which is in the book of Judges. I keep bringing it out. Brother, we was talking about it at work, and I've been bringing it out since. This is Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 19. It says, "For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing in of a better hope did, by the which we draw nigh unto God." Yahweh Shai is that hope, right? Which last night we did Passover, right? We still in that right now, and it, of course it's going to continue to unleavened bread, which we started the first day of Passover. And Yahweh Shai laid himself down for us, and he gave up the ghost. Technically, we would probably say 3:30. He gave up the ghost. So even in this moment now, you have to be thinking of Yahweh Shai. A lot of us, of course, we thinking about work, we thinking about bills, which, hey, that's a natural thought that we think of. But when you're really in this thing, you're going to be thinking of what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai done for us, right? Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai Barakatam, right? I want to actually get that real quick before I go to 2nd Esdras. This is 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, verse 23. I think I just want to read 23 and 24, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. It says, "For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahweh Shai, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread," which betrayed by Judas Iscariot. "And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me," right? That bread of life, right? He's that unleavened bread. He's that manna. "After the same manner also he took the cup, and when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me." So that wine that we drink in Passover is symbolic to the new covenant. Drink up, drink up. And that's why, when you go to Matthew 6 and 33, where it says, "First seek the kingdom of heaven." If you want that new covenant, you want to get in that kingdom through the Spirit, you're drinking that red wine, man. You're drinking Yahweh Shai blood. Drink up if you want it. And through the Spirit, we drink up when we devour the wisdom and swallow down the understanding. 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, verse 4. Salaki family, I got to get some water, man. Woo! Thank the brother Bashar for allowing me to take that bottle of water. Right? So again, everything is in remembrance of Yahweh Shai. We have to take this serious. Calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite, that's cool, but are you walking it? Right? Let me get something else. I said I was gonna go to 2nd Esdras. This is Romans, the 9th chapter, real quick. I think verse 6 is what I want. It says, let me start at verse 5. It says, "Whose are the fathers, in whom as concerning the flesh Hamashiach came, who is over all, God bless forever, amen. Not as though the word of God have none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel." So not every black, Latino, Hispanic is Israel because they're Israel, right? To be Israel is to be one inwardly. Romans 2 and 29, which a lot of people butcher. This is just an Israelite. It's not just because of your skin or your outer appearance, right? Or just saying your blood, which your blood identify you an Israelite, but it's about your heart, right? The inward man, right? And the inward man, you're going to be moving and thinking way different, right? So the inward man is a true Israelite. Talking about you black, Latino, Hispanics, and natives. When I say black, I mean African American, Haitians, and Jamaicans, right? In the inward part, moving through the Rakak Wadash, believing in his word, saying the Lord's name in the inward part, that's what makes you Israel, right? All Israel is not Israel. So you got some 2/3. They're not Israel on this side because they're not fully walking in this. They're not sure about this. A lot of us put our life, our job, our relationship before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and that's off. We put the Lord before all those things. As an example, I'm not better than anybody. Me and the brothers did Pesach, as men, separated, our household, and I've been away from the brothers, but I had my zen on reading. So while I left the brothers, all I did was go to a spot, read, and then next thing you know, a group chat. We start going into the scriptures, right? A group chat, Bible study thing I'm in, going into scriptures, giving them some understanding on how you really in the truth is by your faith, right? And knowing the name of the Lord and so on and so on. And that motivated me even more to come out and do a camp, and the Lord allowed me to only eat the words today, drinking water, and all I got to eat is just hearing the word, and then before I see my family, just got done doing Passover. Yahweh Shai really dedicated his life to obeying his father, right? And Lord willing, my family and my children can understand this, man, even more. On another hand, our household as a nation should be thankful for the men of the Lord on how they dedicate their life to this ministry, to teaching this word, right? It doesn't matter how good a man look or a woman. It's really about you being doing the Lord's will, right? Mark 3:35, right? My brother, whoever do the will of my father is my brother, mother, and sister, right? So a woman should be respecting a man way highly when he putting Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai first, right? But of course, some women ain't gonna be able to do that on this side because they dealing with their own demons, But for some of you women that's trying, continue to be that, right? Because the Lord is having mercy on a lot of us, especially allowing you to come in this truth. That's mercy in itself. He can allow you to be dead like everybody else that's just coming and going and enjoying life and not even thinking about Passover. Go to church, let's do communion, but not really getting a deep understanding on it. This is not a game, man. You got to know what you signed up for. And before I keep going, it was something that Brother Samuel Wallace said last night where he said, man, he can't be around brothers that's afraid to go out, And I wanted to title this lesson, you can't be afraid of what you got yourself into, or you can't be afraid what the Lord got you into. The Lord got us in this truth. We can't be afraid, Sometimes you might have to do a lesson. You might do a lesson outside by yourself, right? You might do a lesson and people on the comment board just scoffing and saying a whole bunch of shabba dabba ding dong. Oh, you got a whole rug or a cloth on you and don't even understand. That's what it comes with, people being against this truth. You can't be afraid what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai put you into, right? And the Lord put you in this because he knew that you were strong, man, right? Just had to say that. Now let's get to this second Esdras, the 15th chapter. Let me see if I really want, nope, because this, I think that's the G&T. That's the G&T. So I want to actually get, the actual real version. Salaki family. I want to get the real version. So we go in the second Esdras, the 15th chapter. And we're going to read, I think, 6 to 8. Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 8. It says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely committed, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And that just goes back to Exodus, the 3rd chapter, right? The innocent, the righteous, the just, their blood is crying out to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You got the ones that's in the spirit world, and then you got the ones that's still on the earth, moving into motion. They're crying unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, like, look at the wicked. Look at Esau. Look at wicked Jake. Look what they doing to the ministry. Look at Jake that's putting blame on the ministry, right? Reading verse 9, it says, therefore saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Right? So for you brothers and sisters that's patiently waiting on the Lord, we still got a little more waiting. You know, Lord willing, you still got it in you. But the Lord hears your prayers. He hears the prayers of the righteous, not the sinners. Right? And the Lord is going to do, when you go into the book of when you go into the word Exodus, it means a mass departure. Right? So it's going to be a mass departure when Yahweh Shai come. Right? Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. It's going to be a great departure, really a strange departure. Right? This Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1 and 2. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such have afflicted him and made no accounts of his labors. Right? But the Lord did account your labors. This is why he put you in the truth. But the other nations and even Jacob himself, starting with Esau, they're not accounting your labor. Right? They keep afflicting you harder and harder. And guess what? We're about to get in a time where it's going to be worse for us. Right? Verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Right? I desire that strange salvation. You should desire that strange salvation. Right? We've been here for too long. When you calculate all the time, we've been in the hands of the Europeans for 599 years. Right? We've been in the hands of our oppressors for 599 years. The man in the comment section said, you guys believe in a God who couldn't forgive his creation, so he had to kill himself. Islam teaches us that there is only one supreme God, Allah. That's Shabba Dabba Ding Dong. Like, truly, people don't understand the power of the Lord, right? The Lord, through the Spirit, you don't even understand about a predestination, right? The elect is predetermined to get it, right? This is why Islam, no offense, actually, forget that. Islam is trash, right? That's not the belief of the black Latinos and natives. When you go back to Muhammad studied the Israelites, and he tried to have the Israelites to convert to their ways, right? Y'all used to believe in the damn moon and the stars, man. Who the hell, why would I want to follow y'all when y'all want to keep changing? Just like 2/3 Jake. Why would I want to believe a 2/3 Jake that's not even putting in the work, or a nigga that's of the world? Muslims, y'all believe in the damn moon and the stars, right? Not in the moon as in the season and the time. Y'all look at the moon as a god, man. Why would I want to believe y'all, man? Right? So let me get this in 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. In verse 18, I think this is the one I want. It says, and when I wanted to prepare the world before it was made, that they might dwell therein. Wait, Salaki. That's going to word different because that's the G and T. Let me hurry up and get this before that this young Muhammad get off the live. This is 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, verse 18. It says, now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. Right? So before the Lord prepared the world which he made, even them to dwell in that now live. What is he talking about? When Yahushua said in St. John the 15th chapter, verse 27, he told the disciples, you were with me from the beginning. Now, yes, you could say in the beginning of his ministry, but even further, he's talking about in the beginning of creation, right? The ones that's called, which is disciples, they are the example of the first fruits. So when he was speaking even on a deeper level, that the disciples was with him in the beginning of creation, of the heavens and the earth. So Yahushua was the first creation, then the elect Yahushua created, and then he created the rest of the angels. Now, I'm not here to force anybody to believe in this. I'm only teaching this for believers and correcting what this man is saying, right? So that means the elect, which are going to get it on this side, starting with the 144,000, they already believed in the Lord. They were put on the earth, right, to serve the Lord. But us putting on this flesh, what happened? Verse 19, for then everyone obeyed. But now the manner of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. Right? We became corruptible because we put on this veiled body. Right? So you go in your Quran and you show everybody about predestination. We can go to Ephesians chapter 1. We can go to Romans the 11th chapter where he says the elect have obtained what they seek it for, but the rest were blinded. Romans chapter 9 is some vessel made for honor and some made for dishonor. Right? Everything has a purpose, and only the elect was put on the earth to be made for honor. Only the elect is going to actually get this. Everybody is not going to get it. So when you talk about Allah, you have to understand Yahweh is not dealing with Israel one-on-one like he did in the time of the prophets. The Lord sent Yahweh because he's dealing with us through his son. Literally, he's dealing with us through the Rakak Wadash. So to really just say you believe in Allah, which means power, I believe in power. I believe in Yahweh, right? The Heavenly Father. But through his son, I could actually completely serve him, right? So at the end of the day, I know who I worship. You don't, right? You don't know what this is going into. Better yet, let me get something else. Thank you for the edification. That man just became a video, right? So let's get this in Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter. And if any Jake want to learn anything about Muhammad, you got a few books. The one book I do require you to read is Babylon the Timbuktu. And it shows you that Muslims was believing in the moon and the star. And then after, when Muhammad came into play, he wanted to upgrade his religion. And he started to watch us. That's why Muslims pray 5 times a day. And they turn to the Holy Land, which is they call Holy Mecca. Where did they get that from? Muhammad got it from Israelites. Regardless if you want to accept it or not, man. So Wisdom of Solomon, real quick. The 14th chapter. I'm going to just go straight to the point. Straight to the point just for that. For what that man just said. I'll start at verse 8 just to give you a point. It says, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it and he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being incorruptible, it was made a God. Because people make idols and they actually start to worship these idols, right? These false gods, right? And they become corruptible. This is why idols become a snare to people. It says, for the ungodly and the ungodliness, and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto God, right? In any religion or belief outside the belief for the 12 tribes of Israel is ungodly unto the Lord, because the Lord didn't make that for us. It says, for that which is made, all shall be punished together with him that made it. So who created my Allah or this new Islam belief, old belief, right? That who created it, and the ones that's worshiping, you're going to all be destroyed with it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because the creation of God, they are become an abomination, a stumbling block to the souls of men, and they snare to the feet of the unwise. That's why Jake, they start to worship stone and wood. And one example of a stone is the Keba stone, right? And you got Jake now, they even worshiping damn chakra stones, right? So, and even the cross, which is another idol that you can use, but when Yahweh Shai died on it, that was just mockery. That was the Roman tradition. That's it. That's all it was. And him dying was just a ransom, for us. That's it, So what we preach about the cross is that Yahweh Shai laid himself down for us, for the whole nation of Israel. But who is really a believer and going to benefit is the elect. And how do we know that? Is because it was predetermined, right? The Lord set up the elect, right? And the elect on this side, starting with the 144,000, they're not defiled with other philosophies, right? So verse 12, it says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, the invention of them to corrupt, the invention of them, the corruption of life. So when we talk about Muslim, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, that was the corruption of life, right? It's only one truth, one faith, one doctrine. It doesn't matter what everybody else want to think. All these other idols was created for the other nations, but it's only one true belief, right? The God of Israel, only one. The God of Israel, right? And his son who dwells on the right-hand side of him, the Rakakwadash, and the angels that work under the feet of Yahushai, man. It's only one power. This is not no damn Zeus, Hades, and all them damn Greek mythology. No, it's only one God, right? And regardless if you nations or people want to believe in something else, when all hell break loose, we're going to know, right? Muslim or Islam never teaches about destruction. Babylon being destroyed, right? You don't even talk about the great deliverance, right? All y'all do is own stores, liquor stores, and say Ali Baba, right? And you make chicken, halal chicken. That's the best that y'all do. Owning stores, that's all y'all got. This is y'all kingdom, man. Y'all really don't understand what's going on, right? So that's just to go to this dude that said, you guys believe in a God who couldn't forgive his creation, so he had to kill him. He forgave us by giving us Yahushai, right? But it's not complete until Yahushai delivers us, man. We still got to go through the trial because we fucked up in our past life. That's why when we went through Egypt, Egypt is the beginning of this thing, man. Because as soon as we left Egypt, we started to follow the Egypt mythology, man. A lot of idols come from Egypt, you know? Even before Egypt, a lot of the chosen bloodline was falling away from the Lord. That's why only Noah lived, man. Him and his family, because the sons of God was even going off, just like we see now, right? So Islam ain't do nothing for us. Christianity didn't do nothing for us. This truth is the best thing we got. Because why? Oh, the truth didn't do nothing for you. Yes, it did. Because it's actually teaching us who we is. It's telling us what we done, why we in captivity, how we get out of this, right? You got to endure into the end, and prophecies have to be fulfilled. There's no other belief or religion that's telling you about prophecies that have to come to pass before that great day. Only the Bible is giving us this, and it's explained by the prophets, man, right? So Lord willing, that made sense to everybody. We want to say thanks to the man that just became a video, man. Want to talk about Islam, but go on his page. He is not talking about no salvation, man. Right? People is really bugged out and don't know what's really going on, man. Right? So again, when we was in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it said the innocent, right, and the just, their blood is crying out, right? The just or the righteous is continually crying out to the Lord, just like this video. Yahushua at this time gave up the ghost. He died for us, man. And now we in this fourth beast. Yahushua is going to deliver us, but we snitching, man. Donald Duck doing this. We got the tariffs. He made a wall against the damn Northern Kingdom, right? Look at how they promoting our women. Lord, yo, man, we need to be saved. They telling us that we can't tell a man that he a man. We got to tell him that he a girl, right? This side on this place is freaking hell. We need saving, and we need this place to be destroyed, right? You get a car, you damn near paying rent to just had a car on the road just with insurance, right? Rent, you've been paying rent for years on time, and rent getting higher because the economy, right? Job is only paying you enough just to turn the light on, and if you want to get more money, you're gonna have to do either something strange, or you're gonna have to step away from your belief, put a time out on it, and dedicate your life to getting money and money and money. Then when you get money, you get distracted, and then you got less time for the Lord. It's no winning on this side, right? When it comes to not being in the spirit or driving or having a desire to get the kingdom. If you're not desiring that, you know, life feels good. But as soon as you start serving the Lord, it just, you get tired of working. Feet be hurting, back be hurting, right? Your wife or your daughter is on her period. You walking and touching, and guess what? You don't got the funds to have a whole extra house. You know, on this side, we getting ends meet on this side, right? You only got a check. They should sign on the check. This is just to pay for rent, just to only pay for insurance. This is not to have a good time. You know, I want the kingdom so I can rule. You know, right? So we crying out. We crying out. Let's go to something else, right? Because Jonah, the Lord had him cry out, right? I just want to get that point in the beginning of the chapter, which I just gonna go to the point where the Lord told him to cry out. This is Jonah chapter 1, verse 1. It says, now the word of Yahweh came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness has come up before me. Right? The Lord had gave him demands to cry against Jonah, cry against that great city. And we're in a time where great Babylon is ruling at its peak. And the kingdom, this European empire, is on this one leg because they're divided. Right? And we got to shake the hand. We got to do the Asher. We got to cry against this place and tell the Lord everything that's going on. Right? We got to teach and break down all the strongholds. You got freaking Hassad saying his bitter herb is damn near romaine lettuce, man. And then try to justify it. Gee, how you going to know the affliction that you had in Egypt, or the affliction Yahushua went through with damn near romaine lettuce, man? Romaine lettuce is bitter herb, man. Then you got brothers that want to be super Pegasus, man. Super Pegasus power, right? Regardless of how anybody feels, that puts blame on the ministry. Everybody gonna be pointing the finger at all of us because of that shit, man. But it's all the Lord, right? Let me get something else, man. Let's get Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the last verse, right? Because the Lord is doing a big reveal, right? And mostly he do it through his prophets, man. Right? Let me get this real quick before I leave my mind. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, it says, for God shall bring every work into judgment, every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So the Lord been revealing way before, what's his name? Cat Williams even said anything. The Lord is revealing, man. He's exposing, and he's sifting niggas out. He don't really need us, man. He don't need me. And if he is using me, gotta be thankful, man. Gotta be, and brothers always use this as try to use it as a defense. Man, that's the truth. Why is there so many different sectors? Why everybody teaches something different? You niggas don't know what life is, man. You got Bloods and Crips. They all gangs, but they different. You go to school, but all schools is different. You go to a church, all churches is different. You go to a basketball team, all basketball team move different. Their work ethic is different, right? You got collections over here and collection over there. They might run a different collection script. Then everything is different. Everything is against one another, man. So when it comes to this truth, it's only one truth, one doctrine. So everybody ain't teaching 100% truth or trying to, right? So that's where it comes. The Lord set everybody in the order that he wanted them to. If they not teaching 100% truth and they don't come into it, most likely the spirit, they'll be against this truth. Freaking idiot. It's a freaking one way, right? So literally, this truth is really to please the Lord and to get believers, right? Now, man, I gotta get it because I just said that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, the first chapter. 1 Corinthians chapter 1. No, 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Verse 21. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21. After that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Right? It's foolish preaching to the Lord, man. He only created it just for believers. Only believers are going to hearken. So when brothers come out teaching, hey, on the other side is a whole business. Behind me, the jail, cops coming out over there. You don't see people walking behind this his phone. You don't see people on the other side of the camera, right? A real believer, just saying. Say if it was a believer, they either going to stop the car, they will either stop walking, come across the street, ask questions, say what you teaching. Everybody is not going to believe in this thing. Everybody is not going to make up the time. Everybody is not going to try to study and learn. Everybody don't got the spirit of the Berea people, where they had a mind of readiness to hear, and they searched the scriptures daily to see if it was true. Everybody don't got that spirit to do that, right? And we don't come to get everybody. We only come here for believers. And guess what? If somebody physically don't stop their car or drive, the Lord has somebody on the electronic unicorn, on this device, right, to be able to hearken, and they gonna receive it. Hey, they might watch it later on. Somebody now or somebody later on that might watch it or later and watch this live and be like, you know what? Let me watch this video, and they might take it. They might ask questions. Shoot, they might not ask questions, but they might hearken just off a video. It's all the Lord, man. Let's show it's all the Lord, right? Let's go to a classic. This is like Jeremiah. This is a classic of classics. Proverbs, the 20th chapter, right? None of this is of us, man. What Yahushua did, it was all Yahweh's will for Yahushua to do that, right? Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, man's going are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Right? You got to know what you signed up for, man. This is life or death. It's either you striving for the Lord and you die for this, or you just die without knowing. Right? A dead nigga. Right? Because when you don't have the knowledge, you're dead through the Spirit, man. Like Pharisees, they were dead. They only knew the law. So if they only knew the law, just the Torah, understanding the prophets was prophesying Yahushua what's to come, the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection or the spirit world. So guess what? They wasn't in this thing, man. They was dead, man. They was dead. They didn't have enough knowledge, man. The Lord don't give it to everybody. This is a gift. It's a privilege to have this truth, man. It's privilege, right? It's a privilege. And if it's a pleasure to you, if you thankful, you should be always occupied in it. That's what Luke is about. Luke, the 19th chapter. He said, be occupied. When the Lord give you a power or talent, you have to be occupied so when he comes, he see that you double. Right? You can come in this thing, you might not know nothing, and then eventually you know something. You know more than you know more than you know more than you know more. When Yahushua come, you should be already walking in this. Don't be a last-minute believer. Right? So now that I let that out, right, let's get into Yahushua, even though the whole thing is going into Yahushua. Let's get into Yahushua. Right? This is Luke chapter 12, verse 28. If then God so clothe the grass, which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye doubtful minded. It doesn't matter what lesson you're watching. You want to grow as much as you can because you do not want to be doubtful minded. If you have problems of understanding, that should be a warning or a mind note that you should be continuing to be learning. When you get up and you got free time, especially you women, after you get done with your chores, if you do, go watch 40 Minutes of the Lord teach his word. If your husband, go watch an old video that you watch. Because I know dang well you can't remember them precepts, and that's good. But double back and watch that video again, right? You having problems with this, right? You dealing with family or friends, go watch a lesson when a brother is talking about 2/3 going to be destroyed, or sometimes you might have to hear a lesson 4 times to afflict yourself because you might be holding on to somebody that don't want to get it. Even you men, when you want to sharpen up, sometimes you're going to have to watch a lesson, watch a breakdown that you already watched, but it's hard for you to break it down. You might forget precepts. Sometimes you might have to watch that lesson again. Sometimes you have to read the chapter again. You know, it's about to be spring, summertime, right? Oh, I'm about to enjoy the weather, right? For us men, you better make sure you your time off that you giving time to the Lord, right? Hey, you might work out, you might go for a bike ride, might rollerblade, right? And you think that you got scriptures playing, thinking of scriptures, you might stop somewhere and read. Hey, if you got time, go do a lesson, brother, because that's your talent the Lord gave you. Make your call and election sure. I look at doing a video all the time that it helps me not to doubt. When I come out sometimes by myself, even though I might want my brothers to come with me, but they can't, this helps me to be more confident. Not necessarily in myself, but be more confident in Yahweh. All the things that I either read is either sometimes I might have a lesson plan and I only had 2 verses. And those came out, but I thought I was going to this place. But even more, Spirit will hit you and you start bringing out things that you read. I might start quoting them and say something. And then I got to go get a precept on it. That really be the Lord, because all week I'm hearing different lessons, reading different chapters, different points, right? Different breakdowns, right? Different points of the gospel that I might slip the tongue and it might bring that edification that way, right? Every day you should be thinking each video is bringing you closer to the Lord or increasing your faith or increasing your discipline, right? The more that I make sure daily I do a video, it makes me be more disciplined. It makes me sit down and read more, right? Because even the disciples, doubt fell on them. When Peter was walking on the water, he was walking on there however long he was walking, but then he starts sinking because he started losing faith. Sometimes the flesh be blocking our mind. Sometimes you be having your mind on being single, but this flesh so weak that you start thinking of other things, right? This is why you got to know that we're in a constant battle daily, right? So always work on if you have doubt somewhere, right? If you think, oh, my auntie is going to make it. She might, even though she ain't hearing this, she might make it. You know, you have to always know, in some cases on this side, the Lord is the God of the living. So while you was alive and you wasn't seeking the Lord and you go in the spirit world, you might just be born in the kingdom. You might just not touch the nukes. So that's mercy in this all, right? But the elect was in this truth, not so-called. They was in this truth. They was doing something for this ministry, you know? So that's what you got to constantly hold on to, right? To be doubtful minded, right? Be ye of doubtful mind. Neither, right? You want to be neither of a doubtful mind. Through the Spirit, I respect that brother. He was walking past with his traveling bag and is making noise. The man lifted up so it wouldn't make noise. That I respect that. As soon as he got away from the camera, now it's on the ground. I respect that. That's fire, even though it's not bothering the sound. That's amazing, man. Salaki. So reading 29 again. It says, seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye doubtful minded. Basically, you know, don't worry. Some of us worry and don't think the Lord don't got us, right? The Lord got you. The Lord don't work at your time. He's never early, never late. He's always on time. Now, verse 30, it says, for all these things do the nations of the world seek after. Your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you, right? So if you believe in the Lord, you happy on what the Lord did, daily you should be seeking glorified body. You should be thinking of immortality. You should be thinking of rest, right? You should be thinking of rulership. You should be thinking of rulership, right? You should be thinking of a breath of fresh air. You should be thinking of women being in order. Women should be thinking of virginity, right? Because when you get a glorified body, you're going to be new again. All those bodies in this world ain't going to mean you're going to be a virgin again, baby. You know, think about that. Think about eating good food, right? Think about your husband or a husband that you going to have going to be diesel. He going to be your God on the earth, right? Because we're gods, because we're going to know good and evil. But in this time, we're gonna know all things, man. Right? That man, you're going to be so much in order. It doesn't matter how many women. You're going to all be in order, right? That's desire in the kingdom. Desire in the kingdom is not just a word, right? The word kingdom means kingship, which is under Hamashiach. So when you think of the kingdom, you're thinking of men ruling, righteous righteous Israelite men ruling, speaking in their tongue, Hebrew, ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? Which Paleo is ancient, but ancient Hebrew, and them calling themselves by their nationality. I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. I'm from the tribe of Gad. I'm from Naphtali, right? We're not going to be scattered and be different. We're going to say we're Hebrew Israelites and what tribe we from. That's what it is about seeking the kingdom, huh? Right? When you looking at what's going on in the news, what's going on in the nations, what Donald Trump is doing, oh, this kingdom about to fall. That's you seeking the kingdom, because in order for a kingdom to be established, a kingdom must fall. Right? Let's go to something real quick. I think it's Zechariah 1 I want. Let me see. I think it's Zechariah 1 I want. And it's going to go back into Yahushua. This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 18. Then lifted I up my eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. Right? What is a horn? Right? Do I need more than that chapter? I think we probably can go back to it. What is a horn? A horn is a king, a kingdom, or a power. So the 4 horns, the kingdom, or a king, or a power, is Babylon, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans. Those are the horns that you read in Daniel, the 7th chapter, right? And it says, and I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And Yahweh showed me 4 carpenters, right? A carpenter is a craftsman, right? And even going more, because the 4th craftsman is Yahushua, right? Because when you look at how Noah built the ark, he was a craftsman making the ark. If Yahweh put Yahushua in order to make all things, Yahushua making the heavens and the earth with the other powers. He's making humans, people, trees, flowers. He is a carpenter. What does it say in the gospel? Ain't this the carpenter's son? Joseph was a carpenter, but Yahushua was an apprentice, technically, of his father. So he took off the, what is it called? Occupation of his father, being a carpenter. But really through the spirit, he was the ultimate carpenter, because he made us. So when you put it in alignment, the first carpenter is the Persian Medes, because the Persian Medes overtook the Babylonians. And then the Greeks under Alexander, he fought the Persian Medes. Really, he fought Darius, and he took over the Persian Medes empire, right? Just to show that. I just need one verse just to show you, to represent that all these empires overpowered one another. What is it? I think it's 1 Maccabees 1. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after Alexander the Great, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So now you know what carpenter is, right? And Alexander was great at war. So he basically tore down the Persian Medes and was basically rebuilding his empire. That's what he was. He was the third. He was the fourth. He was the second carpenter. So it was the Persian Medes, then the Greeks. The horns is Babylon, Persian Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans. Babylon can't be a carpenter because they didn't take a king. They took Israel, but it was prophesied. But to be part of the carpenter in order, it would be Persians over the first beast in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and then the third would be the Greeks, what we just read. Alexander, the Greeks, and then that was the Greek Empire, and then during the Greek Empire, Rome overtook the Greek land, their empire, and then they ruled the known land, right? And we're still in the 4th beast, because Daniel, the 7th chapter, verse 8, the little horn is America, right? And then later on, in the time that we in now, Yahushua is the 4th carpenter, and he's going to come and destroy, right? Let's get Revelation. Let's get the classic Revelations 1 and 7. Wait, hold on. Let me read this, because this is the spirit that we moving in right now. Revelations 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not, I am a fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So we're bringing out prophecy of the 4th carpenter, Yahushua being the 4th carpenter, which he's going to take this empire down, just like all the other ones before him, right? Let me go to another one, drop down. Where is it at? Okay, this is Revelation 19. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, which is Yahushua. The horse represents power. And he that sat upon him was called faithful, true, and in righteousness he will judge and make a war. So when Yahushua comes back, he's going to make war against the modern nations of today, right? Which is, the allies of Russia, the allies of America, which is the NATO and EU, so mainly the EU and America, right? He's going to make war with them. But what's going to be destroyed in his coming is going to be America, that's going to be leveled, and Israel is going to be destroyed but be rebuilded, right? So Yahushua is the fourth carpenter, and he's going to bring war. That's how you destroy an empire, with war, right? So let's go to another classic, Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, and behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So people are going to wail. People are going to be terrified. Back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. They're going to be terrified because it's strange salvation. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, he's going to be big, and he's going to let a flame, a tempest, a controlled fire come out his mouth. Not literally, but it's going to come out the chariots. Because even the chariots got a spirit in them. Because they're all of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So Yahushai is not going to come back all pretty, right? It's going to be murder and death when the Lord come, right? Murder is going to be on his mind. There's nothing that we can do about that, right? Right? It's going to fully happen. So this is a prophecy. The fourth carpenter is on his way. That's why in Revelations 11, verse 7, Revelations 19:11, it says the bride is getting ready, right? These lessons, right? These videos that brother's doing, these episodes after episodes, is getting you ready for the coming of Yahushua. The wife had to get ready, and only the elect is going to reap that benefit, right? So again, we talking about Yahushua. Let's go back to that Luke 12, verse 31 again. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The little flock is that small sanctuary that we read in Ezekiel. The little flock is only the elect that Yahushua is going to find faith in. He said, when he come back, is he going to find faith on the earth? Only through the elect, and it's a small flock, a small sanctuary. It's just symbolic to Noah, but the only thing, the elect is not going to only be 8. It's going to be 144,000, which is going to accumulate in the 1/3 that gets saved, and at the end, it's going to look like it's going to be a great multitude, right? So that great deliverance you should be aiming for. That's why it says, first seek the kingdom of heaven, right? So he said, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So it was already programmed, right? The Lord already have it established. He wants us to get us the kingdom. That's Isaiah 46:10. The end is declared at the beginning. So the beginning of time, he already had it. Man, I'm going to get him the kingdom, but they're going to have to suffer. It's just like Yahushua. You think the Lord just going to give you the kingdom? No, we got to work for it. Solomon and Adam was given that role. David, he worked for it. Solomon was given it. Adam was given it. The children of Israel, we gotta work for it. Yahushua, he was already in the heavens, but he had to come down. So what did he do to get back on the right hand side of the Father? He had to work for it. Be obedient. Endure the suffering. The elect on this side has to go through it in order to be given the kingdom. The kingdom is promised, but you have to work towards it to get it. Right? If you want a job, you gotta go sign those applications. That's work. Then when you get a job, in order to get that higher raise, you got to work towards it. You got to work towards it, man. You know? Let's keep going. It says, sell that ye have and give alms, providing yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in heaven that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Right? And really, while you on this earth, you really want to build and stack heavenly riches. That's the main objective on this side. You know, you can try to live your life on this side, but put more effort on your treasures in the heavens. That should be your main objective, right? because that's something that's going to be eternal. The things that you don't see are eternal. This shit right here is temporal, right? So what Yahweh Shai did for us, no man on the earth can even be toe to toe. This is why you want to give your life to this. You want to dedicate yourself. If you really want the kingdom, you're going to do it. In the elect, naturally, you're going to move into it. Some of the elect is probably a little stagnant. You know, I was a little slow. I'm not saying I am the elect. I'm hoping to be. And if I really want to, I have to drive. I have to push. I got to ask the Lord to continue to put the fire in me to keep going. Again, this is not of me. I'm not doing this on my own, right? It's because I have a desire of his truth, and the Lord is allowing me to teach it. Plain, you should understand that. It's plain example. If you want to be a robber, it has to be in your heart. Then you're going to rob motherfuckers, right? You want to be a hoe, it got to be in your heart to hop from ride to ride. But if your heart is like, look, I've been living. I've been doing a lot of things in my life. The only thing I haven't did was pursue to be a millionaire. I had a chance to do it, to pursue it, to being on TV and all of that, but the Lord chose a different path. So now I'm not pursuing to be rich. As long as my bills is paid, my wives and my kids is shutting up and they got something, I'm happy. If I got to make a dinner just to put a smile on your face, I'm cool. But all that other crap, a Chanel bag, I want to travel the seas and the ocean. Shit, you better start swimming, you know? My mind is not in that. You know, I'm not trying to please myself to what's going on in the world. Yes, I do want to look good. I want to dress. I want to be fly. But it's really about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's the number one thing, man. The number one thing. You know, you got to stick out like a thumbnail. And your family, they might not. I'm talking about not your, you know, family in the truth, but family that you love. You're going to stick out. You're going to be weird, right? You're not hanging around family as much, right? Because certain things irk your nerves. In this truth, you have a standard. If certain people not meeting that standard, you're not about to explain it to them. You're going to stay in your lane. You're not going to push somebody to be in this truth because the elect want this, man. You know, they want to have this. They want this. This your moment, right? Let me double back to verse 8 because I just said something. And this even more, right? It says, also I say unto you, whosoever shall confess me before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of God. But he that denieth me before men shall be denied before the angels of God, right? And to truly confess the Lord, you got to know him. You got to be seeking him. You got to be hearing his word. There's people still stuck on Jesus, and you say Yahweh Shai, they think it's a new God. You tell them that only the children of Israel are going to be saved, and they talking about, yeah, the kingdom, all people. You're not really in it, so you're not truly confessing the Lord. A lot of us have to be broken down and be builded up in the right understanding. Literally. You got to be broken down, man. Got to be broken down in this thing to get builded back up. What happened to buildings? They tear it down and they rebuild. They might not build that same building, but they're going to rebuild on that foundation. Message. All right, I got a precept in my head. You got to build on the foundation. Again, that go with Luke chapter 6. Luke chapter 6, in verse 46. It says, and why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth not my saying, he doeth them, and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built his house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat violently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. That rock, that foundation is Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? It's just like your house is on a solid foundation. That's why your house won't move. But even more, when you think about the 3 piggies, but since I don't eat pig, we can say the 3 lammies. Somebody is building it with sticks, somebody building it with hay or straw, and another person building it with brick. The one that's building it with brick, which is a solid, more solid, durable foundation, is not going to be withered or shaken away, right? Verse 49, it says, he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream beat valiantly upon it and fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Like when I was in foster care in Elma, this dude, I forgot his name, he had a wooden house. He didn't have a basement, but his house was big enough where he had everything on the first floor and the second floor, but no basement. Literally, he's using wood. I'm not saying that you can't have a foundation without wood, but most basements is made with concrete, the basement, which is really the main foundation for the house to stand on. But then you got other examples, like the ground that I'm stepping on, this is a foundation. I can probably make a house on this, but say if this is having problems underneath, it's not a stable foundation. So you have to build your life on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And that goes back to this Muslim dude, or Arab, or I'm getting Arab money. He's on a foundation of Allah, which he's not able to truly understand that it's no God of Allah. That foundation can be broken because before they started saying Allah, they was believing in a star, in the damn moon, and other things. Right? But the children of Israel before time is already showed us in second Esdras that we obeyed the Lord. So before we even got on the earth, we obeyed the Lord. So we obeyed the beginning power of all powers. When we came on the earth, we started following other ways. The Lord was bringing us back to him. What did May say? Welcome back. That's what we do. When we come back to the Lord, we're being welcomed back to something we already had. Right? Let's get something on that. 1 John, I think I want chapter 2. Do I want verse 20? 1 John chapter 2. I just read verse 21. It says, I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. How can somebody that don't know the truth already know it? It's because our spirits are ancient spirits. So it's either, if you are of the wicked seed, you're never going to know this truth. But if you are of the righteous seed, you know this truth. And I'm even talking to you women too, because in order for you to know this truth, you must believe just in all. Now, because a man is teaching, that's a different part of this ministry that you're not even in. You're really in this off of faith. Somebody teaching, you believe in that. You know, a real woman is not going to be, hey, go in this, go in this. Now, a wife, she might go off, she might need help or something. You develop with her according to knowledge. But most women is playing a role. The word coming out, they just shut up and they just listening. Ain't no high hymns. A woman is just yielding. And mostly a lot of them going to be emotional when it comes to the faith because they taking it so serious and they crying a lot. But most men is all stern. They don't play with this, they don't play with that. They're always, when a problem come, book, chapter, verse, da-da-da-da-da, because that's what the elect men is revolved around, this word. And that's why he said, because you know this truth, and it's no lie of the truth. So all the ancient spirits, men, women, even children, you know this truth. Because if you're in this thing fully, wherever you may be, you was in this thing before time. You know, that's beautiful, man. Beautiful. You should be aiming to be of the elect, man. The ones that was given the script to come in this truth and always be in this truth. You know? Right? Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, man. He did it for us, man. He did it for us. He did it. He really did. He really did. Nobody did it like Yahweh set us up under Yahushai. Right? Let me get something, man. I think I want to get this because I've been bringing it out for so long. Right? But this is Hebrews chapter 8, verse 7. Right? Again, the whole Bible is on Yahushai. So we went into other points, right? But they all coming home. And the precepts is lining up. So you should be getting edified. You should be taking what you need to be taking. You should be taking everything and writing it down. Each thing that I said that might be a point, you write it on top so that you can remember what that's going into, right? Don't get yourself too distracted, you know? This is Hebrews chapter 8, verse 7. It says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Right? So if the first covenant was faultless, we wouldn't need this second one. We wouldn't need Yahushua to do what he did. Yahushua would have already been with the Father, because Yahushua was already there. But the Lord sent his son down to play this role because the first covenant was faultless, man. It says, for finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Right? And that goes with Jeremiah 31, verse 31 to 34. Right? And ultimately, we're in between the old and the new, because we're still in the curses. But when that new covenant fully is established, is when Yahushua return and get the first fruits. The elect, starting with the elect men, and then the rest of the elect that's getting beamed up as a whole. Man, you know, we in the end game right now. For the ones that watched it, you know, we in the end game. We in the end game right now. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. Because later on after that, Salaki family, we got the physical law. Because before it was a verbal law. After we got out of Egypt, we got the physical law, statutes, and commandments. Hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh ba'Hashem Yahushai. Right? We stopped following the covenant, or we disregarded it. Right? We turned away from it. Right? We started to get rebellious. We started to do our own thing. Right? And the Lord didn't accept that, man. Right? This is why a lot of times the children of Israel got destroyed. We got put to death. You know? Verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, after this time, saith the Lord. I will put my law into their minds, and I will write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be my people. Right? Through the Spirit, we're getting it written on us, because now we keep reading, we keep thinking of the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Lord, but physically, the law is going to be written in us, and we're never going to go off again. You know when they say never, when the kingdom established and glorified bodies, never and never. We ain't going to never go off. Never go off. Right? That's Jeremiah 31, verse 33. Right? Romans 11 and 27. Right? And Hebrews 10 and 16. Yeah, Hebrews 10 and 16 is just saying the same thing. Right? Verse 11. It says, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. Right? And this is going back to what was said in Jeremiah 31 and 34. We're not going to be teaching our brothers no more, our sisters, putting them in order. What I'm doing right now, we ain't have to do that no more. Right? That's more even desiring the kingdom of heaven, where we ain't got to teach no more. Right? Because literally a lot of Jake, talking about you 2/3, you're wasting our time. This is a waste of time, but not really, because it's for the elect. Right? And I'm just saying it. I'm pointing elbows, I'm pointing fingers. These other congregations that's not doing it. I'm not talking about the ones that is, but the ones that's not doing it. You're not speaking of the elect. You're talking about building a damn nation. This is about a little flock, a small sanctuary, man. You know, this is a small church, a small body. The Lord is doing the same thing he did before, right? In the time of Noah, the time of Lot, the time of Elijah. The Lord is always preserving an elect, a remnant, right? He's not dealing with the whole nation of Israel on the right-hand side, right? So when it comes to this truth, a lot of y'all niggas got this thing twisted, right? This is about the elect. That's why mainly your teaching should be towards building the elect. And of course, you're getting on judgment, right? Judgment on the 2/3. Yeah, you telling the elect, hey, you're going to suffer on this side too, but you're going to endure. But it's mainly about the elect. It's about the elect, deliverance, about the elect, man. So verse 12, it says, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, In their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. And that he saith a new covenant, he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Right? We're not going to have to sacrifice. And really, we don't have to, because Yahweh Shai is the ultimate sacrifice. That was the main thing. That was the main important, because when we sin, we go to the priest and he'll make that sacrifice for us. Let alone he was making a sacrifice for himself and the whole congregation. Every time we would sin, we would go get our sacrifice. When a woman had a period, if she came back after a period, she would have a sacrifice after her purification. The sacrifice was very important. We don't got to do that because of Yahweh Shai, right? That's already ushering in the kingdom, man. Right? Now I would keep going, but I don't want to drown. Lord willing, I can be in the mood to probably do another one when I touch down. But Lord willing, you was edified and you took something from this, man. Right? All this is in remembrance of him. Right? When we talk about the righteous blood crying in the beginning of this, in Exodus, right? That goes back to Cain and Abel. That goes back to the righteous that died, but through the Spirit, Cain and Abel is the same example as Yahweh Shai against Esau, the righteous and the wicked. Right? Yahweh Shai blood was crying out when he was on the cross. It all leads to Yahweh Shai, the temple. It all leads to Yahweh Shai, because even in the heavens is a temple. Now we had a physical temple on the earth that got destroyed. Now we are the spiritual temple that Yahweh Shai is building. It all leads to Yahweh Shai. When it talks about teaching the word, right, it all leads to Yahweh Shai. When we talk about Passover, yes, we thinking about Moses and Exodus in the time of Exodus, right? But it all leads to Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is that Passover. He is that lamb without blemish. That blood that you put on the door is that new covenant, man. Right? It all leads to Yahweh Shai. When you look at a husband and a wife, it all leads to Yahweh Shai. Right? Your wife is the example of Israel. The man, you are the example of Yahweh Shai, which we 1 John 2:26. If you abide in him, you must also walk like he walked. So you, the husband in the marriage, you're supposed to be walking like Yahweh Shai. Your wife's supposed to be symbolic to Israel in yielding and being submissive to their husband. In all reality, the whole nation of Israel is a woman. Yahweh Shai is our husband. It all leads to Yahweh Shai. Being obedient, it all leads to Yahweh Shai doing whatever the Lord tells us to do. It all leads to Yahweh Shai, right? You should be building up your spiritual ark right now. It all leads to Yahweh Shai, right? So with that, we're going to yield. We're going to give all praises to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles who rule well and teach well. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit that teach well and rule well, Lord willing that they continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwak Yum, that are believers of his faith and his truth. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, abab, abab.